everyone, it's me, Andrew. Back to metal detecting out in the snow a little bit. The snow's been melting a bit today, so I thought I'd try and make a little video about comparing my old Teknetics Delta 4000 to my new Nokta Makro Simplex Plus. See what they're like, comparing Canadian coins and a few old relics. So, okay, let's get to it. These are test subjects. I have a modern dime, or nickel. It's made out of steel as far as I remember, 2002. And a modern dime that I had dug, and a modern quarter, a loonie, and a toonie. Alright, so let's see how they do. So I'm going to start with the Teknetics on the nickel. And if you notice here, I usually run it in discriminate mode. But for nickels, I think it would be best if I go in all metals. So I'm going to go in all metals and all metals too. And my sensitivity is at level 8 already. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit for everybody's sake. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how it swings. This is just a surface test first. So it's pretty good there. I got a 72, 75, somewhere in there. Pretty consistent. Every once in a while it pops down into 60s. Okay, so now for the Simplex. So I wanted to show you what the nickel looks like through the different modes on the Simplex. So right now I'm in all metal mode. Discrimination set up about half, or sensitivity I should say, set up about half. Let's see what we get. So that's like a 3 and a 4, maybe a 2. If I go over here to field, let's see what happens. Barely get a signal. It's kind of a funny signal. A little 4. And on park, a little squawky signal, and it gets higher. 4 and 11. And then on beach mode, I get a different signal altogether. 16, 17, 18. Now I know on beach mode, right there, it's notched out. The first 15 are notched out, so that signal might be actually more clear on the beach mode. Okay, if you notice some of the differences between the Teknetics, it's a very small coil. I think that's 8 inches. On the Simplex it's 11, and again, just a single frequency as far as I remember, and same thing on the Simplex. I'm not sure what the different frequency numbers are. Maybe I could look that up and tell you later. I know, look at that, 78, 77, very consistent. Love it. Okay, so we're going to cycle through and detect that dime down there. So we have all metal mode. It's pretty consistently 3 there. Now field mode. Jumpy signal. Interesting. And on park mode, again, jumpy. And on beach mode, jumpy. Yeah. So, anyway, that's that. Okay, next up is the quarter. Let's see how the Teknetics does. Here we go. You hear that sound, it's almost like it wants to overload because it's a big coin, and being right on the surface it does that. If you notice, it's a bit more jumpy, but again, it's jumping up into those high 70s, and that's what I like to dig in the Teknetics. That's a good sign it's a coin. Now for Canadian quarter, and we're on all metal mode right there. Let's see what we get. 2 and 3 very consistently. On field mode, just jumping all over. Park mode, it's got a nice sound to it. And on beach mode, that's interesting. That's a lot more like that nickel sounded. Anyway, alright, on to the next one. Okay, so now for a loonie. That's a $1 coin in Canada. And let's see how it does on the Teknetics. Nice. Very consistent. Again, not much different than any of the other coins. And now for the loonie. Put it on all metal. And if you can see those signals, they're pretty inconsistent again, very jumpy. Field mode, nice tone, very jumpy. Park mode, love that tone, and very jumpy signals. Beach, a bit more consistent again, but jumpy tone between 17 and 40 something. Interesting. Now for the toonie on the Teknetics. Here we go. Yeah, beautiful. 81, 80, 81. Always the same number. I love it. And now for the Simplex. Oh, nice number. 95, 96. Loving it. Okay, so now we're going to do a buried test. The hole's a little muddy. I had dug this hole the other day, so I just dug up the same plug in my backyard here. It's the depth of my shovel. My shovel is about 8 inches deep. Okay, so I'm going to put that down on the bottom, and let's see how they respond to this depth test with the toonie. So now for the Delta 4000 on the toonie, a buried toonie up to 8 inches. So okay, it's catching it, staying deep. 30. Oh. That's a mixed signal. I would definitely dig that for sure. Now for the Simplex, let's see how it does. It's giving me a faint tone. 4, 22. I'll go slower. Now I can increase my sensitivity. You see it was only halfway there. Let's go all the way and see what happens. So I'm getting something. 9, 7. Again, would I probably dig that? I don't know. Let's see how the pinpoint function does on that. Yeah, it's saying something pretty much where that toonie would have fallen, right there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not disappointed. I'll just have to be digging, I think, to some of those strange signals on the Simplex to get some of that change. Yeah, let's do some relics. Okay, so some of my favorite expensive relics, or whatever valuable relics of summer, was this. So I got a 1953 50-cent silver coin, a pewter button from the 1800s, a 2-piece military button. I think it's from World War I. Can't confirm that yet. That's a copper penny from 1951, and a very old fish scale. It's from 1888. It's got a tiny bend in it, and it's pretty worn. So anyway, I'm going to give these a try. We're going to do a surface test with all these, see what numbers we get. Okay, so first up's a little fish scale. Let's see how the Teknetics does. Look at that. almost the same tone as a real dime would make, and yet it's silver. Very good. Simplex. Let's see what numbers it cuts. Nice tone, and high 60s, low 70s. Very good. For the penny, let's see what happens here. Nice, 85, solid 85, and that's a copper penny. So it's giving me a better number than those clad numbers, but look at that, every time, 85. Okay, so now for the simplex on the copper coin, you can see it down there. Here we go. Oh, that's a lovely number too. Look at that, 85. Very good. Okay, so now for the two-piece military button down there, you can see it. Look at the consistency there. Now I could tell you that's a funny number because 5859 is usually a pull tab on the Teknetics. And well, that two-piece button, I'm going to flip it over so the shank side's up. See what happens this time. There's something different. Yeah, pretty close. Let's see how the simplex does. So that's a neat sound, like 30, 40, somewhere in there. Pretty consistent. Okay, and now for the Teknetics on a pewter button from the 1800s. Wow, that's just like a dime or a penny. Any of the coins. Lovely. 79, 80. Good. Simplex. Oh, I like that number too. 72, 71. Look at that. There's consistency. Okay. Now for the Big Daddy, the 50-cent silver coin. Here we go. Yeah, nice. 94. Look at that. Every single time. Yeah, Teknetics loves that number. And now for the simplex. Oh, nice number. 95, 96. Loving it. I do know on the Teknetics, the big iron relics will sometimes bring up as a big high number like that too. I think it's the same for the simplex. Well, I think we should try a buried test. That's about that 8 inches depth down that hole. Let's see how they do. Okay, so listen to this. This is the Teknetics and the buried coins of 50-cent silver. Jumpy sound, mostly in the 30s, saying it's something big and iron. I'm telling me deep. Very good. For the simplex, again, numbers are sure changed. I've got a 4, an 8, a 4, a 65, jumpy, and not so strong as you'd like to hear. This ground's really wet, really muddy. Don't know how well the signals are going, and I've got sensitivity down to half. I'm going to pump it up, see what it sounds like. Let's go all the way. And there, not even close to the 90 sound. But it would be something I might be curious enough to dig now. Well, I guess it goes to show you that that term, dig 'em all, is very true. Well, comparing my two detectors, here's my Teknetics Delta 4000, and this is my new Nokta Makro Simplex. And I'd have to say I'm impressed with the Simplex. A little concerned about how jumpy the Canadian coins come out. but I think we can figure that out as we go and learn more about this machine. Love the big coil. I'm going to be able to cover more ground than with my little 8-inch coil on the Teknetics. This is an 11-inch coil. You can notch out on Simplex, you can notch out on the Teknetics. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that much anymore. I know as I was digging with Teknetics, I would get some strange signals with the Canadian coins. Pennies always showed up consistently, but a loonie, a toonie, a quarter, sometimes they would be in strange numbers. Dimes for sure they would be in strange numbers. Nickels definitely. So when I started at first, I started discriminating a lot, and now I'm thinking I got to go back and check those areas again, see how they turn out. The weight of these machines, this is definitely a very light machine. It's 2.3 pounds, something like that, and the Nokta's 2.9 pounds, so it's about half a pound difference. Both very light machines, easy to swing. I love the maneuverability of the Simplex in that you can adjust that very easily with the little latch. On here you have a screw type release that would let you adjust the shaft, and there's buttons back here to press, like a little notch button. And anyway, thanks so much for taking a break with me. I appreciate the time you're taking to watch my videos. But I guess it's time for us all to get back to life. See you later.